All right, people, what is good? This is episode number 33 of the VF Cast. I am VF Baller. It's been a very, very busy week for me. A lot of things have been moving and shaking, mostly on the other side of the YouTube where my other channel is. I've actually put my other channel on Rumble now, so not too many people that listen over here are probably interested in that side of my channel. But if you do listen to both, First and Frame Rates is now on Rumble. You can go check that out. That is pretty cool. But not to get more into that. It's just I've been working on that stuff. But over here, I wanted to go ahead and do an episode, and I know this is a little bit later than usual. I know the Super Bowl is today, so what I wanted to do is try to get prepared for the Super Bowl. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to make this episode because I don't want to skip a week, and I don't want to put an episode up the day after because that coincides with my other content. So that would have been kind of, a little convoluted for everyone who do listen to both or just being out of whack. So today, I'm not going to keep you guys long. I want to just talk about one topic that I find very interesting and just keep it moving. So this episode usually, these episodes usually be around maybe 25-30 minutes, but this one may be a little bit shorter. So I'm going to get into it and we're going to keep it moving. First and foremost, I thank you guys for listening and watching on this channel. This is my secondary channel, the VF Cast, and I love talking about gaming. Gaming is my life pretty much. If you see everything that's behind me, gaming is pretty much where it is. And so when I'm not talking about sports, like you see on the screen right here, my First and Frame Rate channel, I'm talking about sports on the VF Cast channel, which you will see right over here on my on the screen. So let's go ahead and just get into this. We're going to talk about Google Stadia or Stadia, or whatever the case may be. I'm going to put the link down in the description of this article from Kotaku that are basically, they're going to ditch Stadia. Stadia is going to be gone. So Google Stadia finally dies after a few years of being up. I'm going to give you my thoughts about it. Pretty much, let's start from the beginning. Google wanted to get into the gaming business, and what they did was you could have bought a controller, or you could have bought this little small, I think it came with a small box or whatever along with the controller. It was something like that, and it was like two prices. One was a premium price, one was not. And with the premium price, you could have had like somewhat of a Netflix of gaming type situation where you can have access to all these games, and but the thing is, you would have to stream those games. There was no downloading or anything like that. You stream the games from a cloud on Google. Now, from the beginning, a lot of people were like, well, hey, this may be a situation that may not work very well because of Google's always getting rid of stuff like Google Hangouts. There's some other stuff Google started and didn't finish. And me personally, I thought Google Hangouts was like phenomenal, and I thought it was something that they could have kept going. Because like right now, you can go to StreamYard or Zoom or whatever. Those are flourishing very well. Google Stadia just dropped the bag for them to pick it up and run with it. So these are a lot of things that they've been doing that just haven't worked out very well. And they always, I think there's like some website of a list of so many things that Google has gotten rid of that they started, and this is ridiculous. But now you can put Google Stadia on that list. The technology is not going away, but Google Stadia is going to be like on the lower tier things. It maybe still be running for a while, but like I said, I don't know for certain. I got the article right here. I read a little bit of it, but before I finished reading it, I wanted to go ahead and put this in a podcast format so you guys could, see me react to it at the same time that I read it. So from Kotaku report, Google is quietly ditching Stadia. The service have been demoted within Google and will instead power experiences for other companies. So the cloud-based service will still be used for other companies. Basically, I'm trying to see, spotted on The Verge. This news come from Business Insider report published yesterday, which paints a not so happy ending for Stadia. The service have been demoted within Google, with Stadia boss Phil Harrison now reporting to Google's vice president of subscription services instead of the Google's hardware boss, Rick Ostler. Okay, it seems now the plan over Google Stadia is to focus on lucrative deals with other companies to create power and create and power experiences for them. And oddly, folks have already seen some of these deals with the recent game found on Peloton bikes, actually powered by Google Stream. So I guess that's what they're going to be calling it now. That's the new name for for Google Stadia's technology. It's going to be called Google Stream. But to be honest with you, the way Google is set up when it comes to like using them for search engines, and you basically use them for like I guess YouTube guys, I think they own YouTube or they're one and the same or something like that. I I would have been okay if they'd used this from the beginning. Just use it as a streaming service for other platforms. Because, I mean, the thing about it, streaming and gaming just don't mix. Game streaming is not it. I don't care what anybody says. You can say, oh, my experience is great, but the majority of people with this experience, it just does not work. I mean, PlayStation can sit here and talk about PlayStation Now all they want. And I mean, look, I like the service on its surface. I like PlayStation Now where you can get all of these games on a Netflix subscription type service. But the flip side of that is like, well, let's look at it this way. If I got to stream these games and they're laggy or whatever the case may be, or I feel like I don't have any attachment to the game because it's not downloaded, I don't feel very I don't feel very inclined to play the game. And that's my experience with PlayStation Now or like Google Stadia or any type of game that I've actually streamed before. I bought PlayStation Now twice on a monthly subscription. I think I bought 1 month subscription, and I bought I think it's at one time it was like 45. It was like $45 for 3 months. And I don't want to go too far down PlayStation Now because it's talking about Google Stadia, but I just never had a really good experience with it. And I never even wanted to try with Google Stadia at all because there was no games on it that I really wanted to play. And that's another thing about Google Stadia. Google Stadia or Stadia, whatever they want to call it, it just never took off because of the games they had. Like, I'm not going to play a fighting game that's streaming. There's some games that just not going to play because I think Mortal Kombat was on there or something like that. It was weird, but all the other games were just not my cup of tea. Let's keep going. It says, according to current and former Google Stadia employees, there are some folks who still believe in the dream of playing stuff like Cyberpunk 2077 on your phone. But one person who spoke to Business Insider estimated only about 20% of the focus now at Stadia is on the gaming side. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. It'd be awesome to play games on your phone. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, this phone is old and dirty, man. I need a new phone. Nevertheless, it's okay to have that dream. I mean, because it'd be great. I mean, like the other night, I have an iPad or whatever case may be. Matter of fact, it's sitting right here. I was amazed because I don't even go to like the game side of things when it comes to iPad. I just use it like to watch YouTube or do other type of business on it. I didn't even know on the gaming side they have so many spaceship shooters on the Apple Arcade. And I'm amazed at it. I was like, yo, this is really cool for me if I don't want to, like, per se, don't want to come up here and play video games. If I just want to stay downstairs and just play a quick game. So, the dream of playing the games is, like, awesome. But when we really think about it, I don't think too many people are inclined to play a game like Cyberpunk 2077 on their phone. I don't think too many people would do it. That's just my opinion. I haven't seen anybody play like a full-fledged game. I think the closest thing was like a Fortnite. I've seen like my nieces and nephews play like Fortnite on the phone, but I don't think nobody's gonna play a game like Cyberpunk or I don't know how many people played the Grand Theft Auto series on mobile because those games are on mobile, or let alone how many of them actually completed it. I remember when not Grand Theft Auto but Street Fighter 4 was on mobile, and some people tend to like it, but I think I tried it one time. It was like 5 seconds. I need to play with a controller or a joystick. I just couldn't do it. And now you can do that with some phones. You can play with a controller, but I mean, to me, that kind of defeats the purpose of just, never mind. But they say only 20% of the focus now at Stadia is on the gaming side. So this just goes to show you it's done. If it's only 20% of the focus is on the gaming side of Google Stadia, the cloud gaming side of Google Stadia is done. There are plenty of people internally who would love to keep it going. They're really working hard to make sure it doesn't die. One source explained to Business Insider, but they're not the ones writing the checks. Exactly. You got some people inside probably worked on this and probably really want to make this go. And I understand it. I mean, if you help create this thing and you help develop it and you think it's something really cool and you may have it a way where it works internally, it may work very well for you under the cloud gaming side of things because you're right there where it's actually working properly like you would want it. But somebody who's like 2,000 miles away or like maybe even 100 miles away trying to play it on their internet, it may not work the same. So you may feel like it works great as a developer, but no, it just doesn't work too well. I don't know. Google Stadia Assist responded to this report, or that report, the one in Business Insider, posting a Twitter thread explaining that the Stadia team is working really hard on a great future for the streaming service. Now, that doesn't mean that it's going to still be doing the gaming thing. Listen to the wording. Listen to the wording. They're working really hard on a great future for the streaming service. It also pointed out towards 100 games that are added in 2021, as well as 50 games being offered to pro subscribers, as proof that was far from over. It also vaguely promised more features coming soon, but didn't elaborate on what to expect or when. So with that being said they said, last year we did pretty good, but next year we don't know. Or this year we don't know. So, and I mean, if you hear like 20% of the game of Stadia is like committed to games and they're not really talking about more features that are coming. And that's another thing. It vaguely promised more features coming soon, but it didn't say anything about games. Listen to the wording. Just because they said they get more features, that doesn't mean more games are coming. While it's unlikely that Google will pull the plug on Stadia anytime in the near future, it's become more and more apparent that Google's gaming bet didn't pay off as they hoped. Yeah, no, exactly. It wasn't going to pay off. I knew this from the beginning. Like, when I had my experience with cloud gaming, and like I said, it was on PlayStation Now, I knew that this wasn't going to work out the way it did. I just knew that because of the fact that just because of the fact that the service just doesn't work. I don't care how well it's put together. You got so many factors that are in the way of your streaming or your gaming experience. I mean, what if somebody else is in the house pulling a lot of bandwidth? Yeah, you can have like really high. Look, I've had high end, internet here. It's not like I don't have like any pushover internet, anything that nothing can handle. But it's still, for me, there is still enough lag in the games to me like, no, I cannot play this. Some first-person shooters. I remember playing Warhammer one time. I think it was 40,000 War. I think it was that game. I couldn't play it. I think that's the first-person. What was that? It was one of those games that they had on a PlayStation 3. It was made by the same company or something. I can't remember. Don't even quote me on that. But it just didn't work. It didn't work. Over the course of the last 2 years, Stadia has faced multiple lawsuits. Wow. Made the decision to shut down this main first-party development studio with little warning. Ran into issue with indie devs and has seen key folks leaving the company. It's also revealed last year that after spending tens of millions of dollars to secure AAA games like Red Dead Redemption 2, Stadia underperformed at bringing in new subscribers and users by the hundreds of thousands. It's over. It's over. I mean, this entire paragraph right just tells you lawsuits. They had to shut down a development studio. They had issues with indie devs, people leaving the company. They got games like Red Dead Redemption 2. They spent a lot of money getting that game and didn't get a return. They didn't even get new subscribers because of that. You know why? Because once again, games like Red Dead Redemption 2 or whatever other AAA game they got, those type of games definitely will not work in a cloud setting. Maybe it worked for you, the few individuals. I think at one point, I think they only had like 20 or like 2,000 active players on Stadia at one point. I don't know. Maybe those 2,000 people, it may work for them too. And let's think about it. The 2,000 people who are like actively on Stadia, how many of them are really playing Red Dead Redemption? Honestly, maybe 100 out of the 2,000. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. So you're banking on a game you spent tens of millions of dollars to secure, and only 100 people are playing on your platform, and you still can't get new subscribers and users. It's over, man. It's over. That right there just tells you. Google switches started to a more commercial focused product, is which one integrated in different experience and demos for other companies. Probably a smart idea in a way to salvage all the tech and resources poured into the service. I agree, because I don't think it's I don't think it's bad technology. I just don't think it works for gaming. However, I recommend not buying any games on Stadia, at the particular Google service now seems more destined in a graveyard than ever before. Now, with that being said, I wouldn't buy any games on Stadia at all, because it's a streaming service. Once they shut it down, whatever you purchase is gone. You know, I mean, it's gone. That's one thing that people were saying when this thing started. Like, okay, if we purchase any games on here, are they ours to keep forever? Google never answered that question properly, in my opinion. I don't think they have. If they did, let me know in the comment section. I don't think they ever, answer that properly. So yeah, I won't buy anything off of a subscription or a streaming service, because once they pull the plug, it's over. So that's pretty much it for this article. And with that being said, I'm probably gonna just close it out there. I just want to know you guys' thoughts. I don't have much to talk about this week. I really wanted to talk about Stadia in general, and because the fact that they were just dying, and I guess the fact that it's the Super Bowl this week, I don't want to carry this no more than 20 minutes. So let me know what you guys think. Good riddance to Stadia. Do you like Stadia? Is this something that you used? Me personally, I never used it at all. I mean, like I said, my only experience really was PlayStation Now. I purchased it twice, and every time I purchased it, I did not have the best experience. I think I had experience with like a couple of games, and it's just not worth the $45 a month. If I'm going to have a good experience streaming those games, I might as well just purchase the games myself and have them forever, instead of just not just streaming them. But shout out to PlayStation Now overall, though. They are starting to let you download games. They started doing that a while back, and Game Pass is probably like the best thing that ever happened to gaming, in my opinion. I mean, I bought an Xbox Series S, and it's basically a Game Pass machine, and it's phenomenal. I really do love Xbox Game Pass, and that's a subscription service that's done right. You don't have the time to buy all these games. You want to try games out, $17 a month or something like that, or like I think I can't remember how much it is a year, $59 a year, something like that. I don't know, but it's a phenomenal service. I highly recommend it. If you haven't tried it already, you can use it on the Xbox or PC. I don't like the PC version of it, but the console version is great. I'm going to get up out of here. I got another podcast to do. Obviously, I got to do the First and Frame Rate show. I'm going to set that up for tomorrow morning, which will be Valentine's Day. And I will be doing my episode over there. If you guys like this content, hit the like button, share this video. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm just trying to grow this thing, man. Just trying to do something with it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I will see you guys on the next one. I'll be doing more videos throughout the week. And hopefully episode 34 will be the following Sunday. All right, y'all. Y'all take it easy. Y'all be blessed. Have a good one. Peace.